showers or the front B side and get away right away. You could play double ops, and you could also allow here your Fade and your Rays to be working more in tandem right now into these short A site hits or any type of cool plays you want to do for trap plays on a defense that can maybe help you out. So
yeah,
let's keep an eye on that. They locked in quite early though for Shinden. This gives a chance now for Solid to think about how they can work around this chamber, and we'll see if they're prepared for it. So far, a 4-1 setup. A side plow. You see that the turret's already there though for the chamber to really slow down that initial hit.
Yep. Well, we'll see if that holds. Looks like it probably should. The double op comp is one that I will say does get very enticing, especially if you're a big fan of the pop-off plays. Big walk down though in towards showers. Snow's gonna hang a little longer than maybe you would anticipate. He's gonna get caught by the prowler. No immediate follow-up. The paint shells will provide a small bit of reprieve. Oh, but through the smoke. Okay, trades are decent, but we stay even. David able to find one more though over through main. Does give an opportunity for the defense to still hold two players on. Big shot right there from Yuri's before the smoke can fade. And you'll wait for the 3v2 to develop, I assume.
I don't know where the Brimstone's at, so Brim is just waiting it out here so that Vice could meet up with David so they could go for the 3v2 retake. But you're definitely seeing that Digizine, he's in a one and done, but at least has a flash to work with.
Flash comes through. Wow, nice second shot there from Digizine. 2v2 now. The sky smoke causing a bit of a deterrence here for the defense to fully get on for the retake. And these angles just so well isolated. Digizine gets overwhelmed at bench, just down to Rafa. Only a couple of shots left in. Muris will find both as David will find himself on for the easy defuse.
And that's a beautiful reactionary play, the micro for Shinden on that 2v2. Because you move inside that smoke, you tap that spike. Because if you're not going to tap that spike, they could just hold it off and they could just watch that smoke. But now you're forcing the red alert to pop up here from the side of Solid. They might be a little bit flustered. You go for that double swing onto bench to isolate that first fight. That's just beautiful, especially on the opening that kicked things off here from the side of Solid. It definitely looked like they already had the map, or at least the piss around, in their hands. But that, the IGL Maurice has something else to say. We're going into the same type of setup, except the chamber playing towards showers this time around. So this is what we're talking about here. You have the Outlaw coming through. This is going to be on Rupkoide. Snow is going to play the U-Haul. So you might see the raised judge play that's going to start coming out here for Snow.
I was just about to say that is definitely in the ballpark.
I have the spike.
But it just comes down to, especially with the sentry drone in the way, or the trademark rather, I should say, do they actually get into this lamp's position without giving away too much? Well, here we go. Snow, very aware of what's about to come his direction with the Prowler. Yeah, as I said, the Prowler scouts him out, and Havoc will go up and over to find the free kill. So now you've got an opportunity for Solid to get on with the spike.
That should have been known, man. Red, the smoke's been right up on the APC. You even hear the audio cue when you're coming across. Maybe that's just land. You didn't hear the Rays get behind, and now you're going to stop and go. You're going to stay hitting, so you could potentially force a rotate out from Shinden and go for the clean plant right after.
Vice trying to spam a little bit of damage. TSS has to get off the plant not once but twice. But what does this timing look like? Oh, the opening shot comes a little bit wide from Rube. Has to consider his position as the Haunt will flush them a little further back. Vi trying to step up, but TSS this time will be able to plant in Havoc's flank. Shut down. Shinden now with the numbers, 4v3. And the post plant is going deep. A lot of trust under Rafa here as the defense will wait for the smokes and then try to make their way back on.
They don't have their own smokes here on defense, so the pistols and the angles could still be very good here from short A.
Here comes the effort. First shot lands for Rube. Over towards Lamps. This classic does not do well at that range. And Conan just gets absolutely over-peaked. So a moment. You see the window open in a little bit, but Shinden just immediately shuts it down.
That's just a play drafted up to take U-Haul control, because even you have a different Viper wall that's not even on a lurk. You're just trying to cut the vision anywhere from the right side of the tank into triple, so you can't really see from the showers control. You're aligning out and isolating the value that you have on the outline. Look at that. That's such a free kill. He almost got then tried to find the timing on top of David, but David was able to, again, head on the swivel and understand here are these pushes coming out from the side of Solid and stuff that right away here from Shinden. But that's double plants. That's a strong rifle round moving in a third one for TSS. They have to go with full armor, but the double plant allows for you to get that with util.
Decent setup in terms of weaponry, followed with utility for Shinden to possibly get the bonus. Prowler out early. I don't know if it fully reads. Ray's in the corner right there. Muri's, yeah, it's just not Muri's. Pardon me. That was David that's able to kind of step up and deny the Prowler. So Rube holding one angle, David close, and then of course Snow with the Bucky could really hurt this hit if it comes down short.
Now with David consistently spraying right now, they maybe could think that there's going to be a second player inside that cubby. Got to be ready for it because this seems like too much of a bait. Yeah, there's that second Prowler.
Yep. And Rube will fall. Snow in some trouble. But David able to help out just a little bit. Traded through the smoke, though. That's not great news. Snow trying to run away to get back to safety, but there's not a lot of space for safety, so you got to use that little cubby as your Alamo. Does not work out. And Muri's last one left has to rotate late into the 1v3.
Yes, he threw a snake bite, so it delayed enough for him to get a position. So the smoke might disappear very shortly after the plant reaches right now. It gives him a chance maybe to catch some players rotating out. No, Rafa's all the way back.
Yeah.
It's probably has it what it takes to play the lineup too.
Well, good opener. Oh, good follow-up. But Rafa still has the Fuego. And that will force Muri's to have to try to fight for this kill immediately. And you don't know if he's deep. You don't know if he's close. There's a lot of question marks in that consideration. Yep, Rafa just pops out, finds the freebie, but gets real tight, dude. I'll tell you that much. Like, that should not have been as close as it was, but still, the survival is there.
Again, some very clean shots coming out from Muri's. From piss around Sheriff to this one right there, almost clutching a 1v3 with the Guardian. The scale up was perfect, at least from the side of Solid. But I do agree with you, and it makes sense though. You have a haunt, it's not being shot. You hurt the drop. You might as well try to go for the pick. But there, he gets the wall bang onto PXS. You can't do anything about that, right? So
yeah.
It just happens, and then you had to keep it close. But at least you're still able to convert the round here for Team Solid, who are now pushing up very aggressively towards that front B side. Probably gonna have to play soft here on the side of the sky. You need to save a couple one of those flashes to allow for you to retake, especially when you're playing soft side on B with.
Yep.
Now finally, David meeting up with him after they heard the first smoke come through, and that's an attacker side smoke just to try to see if they could find the chamber trip. Try to move forward, try to break that, maybe flash through that as well for you to flood back into the B site.
Well, Vi's able to find one over through elbow. Muri's trying to assist, so if I can hold this angle, and oh, yep, that's Valorant for you, baby. Spam through a smoke, you might get lucky. And that little bit of luck may be exactly what they need to win this round. Double swing comes through, a little dangerous. You saw a world where Conan gets bold and we get to a 3v3, but instead, it's a 4v2 and the offense has to reset. And
that's a slight mistake, I like to say, from the side of Solid. When you're already scaling up here behind that smoke, and then you're popping your ult, even if it's a popped ult towards Hookah to try to get information inside the site, and you try to go through the smoke after, a lot of players and a lot of teams, you would just expect when you hear a Yoru ult and it's coming through somewhere, just spray the smoke, because usually players are coming right behind that anyways. So they spray through the smoke, they get 2 picks out of that, and even you're not able to get real value out of the ult from the Jazine because you can't even really set up for a flash. So especially when you're setting up these attack site smokes on the entrance of that B side, the wall contact, and you need that Yoru potentially to just flash outside of the smoke so you could swing out of that and then maybe try to find that element of surprise. But you already gave that away with your global call out that I'm coming for you with my mask on.
Very true. Okay, so this map starts in a very similar way as the last one had. Very evenly exchanged between both teams. a handful of moments that it feels like it go one way or the other. Like, this has been as entertaining as you could possibly want in terms of a competitive game of Valorant being played. So we'll get a little bit of a reset into the economy here for Team Solid. Opportunity for Shinden to go up 3, especially with an orbital strike in their back pocket.
Just realized too that Vise used his Seekers in that previous round to confirm that second kill through the smoke. That said, though, they were still able to cycle up some ults on their side. You still have the orbital strike. Meanwhile, you talked about TSS having to calm things down for a bit, so you're min-maxing the orbs. You have your own chance to probably cycle some ults in the next round. But so far, this change onto that chamber, you're seeing exactly what we're talking about, the forward positioning and locking down a solo play on your own. He's got the turret trademark watching that hookah. He's got a forward angle positioning with the outlaw. So you could just play like a strong 4-1 rather on that side.
Scout destroyed. Here.
Well, you dodge for info, and that confirms a little bit. But you're still potentially walking some players right into this crosshair.
Patience, my friend, patience. There's the offensive pings. Team Solid looking to follow up. Smokes will be the go button likely. As soon as those go down, anticipate some sort of a dash in towards the front side of these Radianite boxes. And here we go. Paint shells. Good control of space. Snake bite's a little late, won't lie. But it does separate just a touch. Oh, mercy, this could get brutal. I don't know if we needed it, but it was fun to watch. I'll tell you that.
Oh, we talked about cycling ults, right? Maurice gets a couple of kills too. He's able to get his pit into the next round. So I'd take it any day, especially if I've fallen behind on the previous map on my map pick. I want to make sure that I have a solid bind here. That said, you talked about patience, but patience wasn't really a virtue for the side of the attack. Yes, you had the time working against you, but it's especially that util. You didn't flush any of that when you started the inserts into showers. You already picked up an orb. You gave your position away on that side. They've already pushed down towards long B, so any type of like cut noise is not working because you're not selling any fakes. The dog even spotted you. So as you go for a rehit, you saw the amount of util that comes out of showers from the defensive side. You can't even do anything there. So
agreed.
A little bit rough. We're a little bit rough.
Yeah, I mean, really, this first 5-6 rounds has not gone well really at all for Team Solid. I mean, you fought back in the anti-eco, but outside of the fighting against the bonus, not cooking with much gas here in this map at the moment, which I'm sure is a big surprise, especially considering it is your map pick. But yeah, time to talk it over. And I don't know, what do you look towards? You look towards how things are going, like on the executes, like how you're contesting it, how you're successfully or unsuccessfully able to like manage the space on site, or where's your headspace at in terms of like where you think things are going a little bit wrong here, Vance?
What they're doing quite well for the side of the defense, at least, is making sure that they're cycling a lot of this counter util, install util. The 20-second brimstones, and you're not really trying to fight out of it on the side of Solid. So Shinden are doing a good job just playing to the clock on their side. They're not forcing themselves to move anywhere so far because you've already covered the map so much with Rubkoida on this chamber. So I think right now for Team Solid is they or have to start fighting into the tighter lanes towards controlling hookah, towards controlling short, and then trying to make sure that you can start pushing some players out. Just like that. Look at the default that they have, at least on Solid's side. You had the... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's hold that thought. That's a nice shot by Snozy.
Yeah, I was about to say he's going to get contact, not once, but twice. And PXS, yeah, it's like, hey, have a prowler.
Now let's save for a minute and 10 seconds. So that's the thing, right? You have the double op coming out, literally. So yeah, Rubkoida only has the outlaw, but he hasn't really been dropped this time around. But you see how potent this could be now from both extremities. Especially, again, look at the util. A pit towards one side, a turret on the other. Maybe the next round when the pit's not there, at least you might have snow op from the tank. So they need to start utilizing a little bit more here from the side of Solid to find this early information and decide where they want to push from that. Once you at least force the chamber away, or you force the raise away. Yeah, and that's true. Again from short side control, because they've been given that up a lot rather on the defensive side.
Well, so far things looking pretty comfortable, and yeesh, that's a little bit of a heat check right there. Like, I get this for essentially free, so why not use it?
Yeah. I mean, why we're walking a little like watching that tunnel.
Yikes.
You got to rescale in the right spot here. You got to pay attention to where the operas are currently being positioned. But that's the thing with the comp here on the side of Team Solid, right? You're playing this type of comp where you have the Viper that you can utilize here for the snake bites utility, or at least some sort of control to push out the octagon side on these line of sights. If you're going to try to scale up on that side too, you need that early util to come out. The fade's not going to be enough here. So Conan has to go potentially for that lineup from short side, try to push the op away from long, and then you could start scaling up and working the map. You could start the inserts into showers after and start the TV plays.
Yay! That's not the way you wanted to start. Granted, it's a thrifty round, or in some essence, a thrifty round. And I won't lie here, Vance. This round feels like a let's just throw this one away. All right, now let's go next. Like,
yeah.
Here's a freebie. Thank you. You're welcome.
But at least we see what we were trying to discuss, right? As soon as the pit's gone, the next round the op's going to play on top of the tank. You're just trying to find some deep line of sights, and that's the advantage right now that comes out of this composition here on the side of the defense. Yeah. It's so easy. Even a jump spot's not good enough. You can't even really set up for post plans because you really can't get into the sights in the first place. So you potentially have to start using this util for early sight control. So there's Conan with the orb, at least on short, but there's no sneak by going towards long yet. Trying to go boombot prowlers instead.
Yeah. Well, the prowler, I don't know if it sees the player by the teleporter, but decent trade for Solid. Rube backs away through smoke, takes a little bit of chip damage, but he's fine. And now it's delineation and deliberation time between, do you want to try to pull and force the defense to maneuver? Because you've got, well, so you have the teleporter to play off of, but Conan loses a critical 1v1 as the smokes fade through short. And I won't lie, Vance, like kind of the same point I was telling you before, like Team Solid look empty, if anything, so far in this first half.
And even what they're trying to do to contest the long B space in the first place was by throwing the haunt, and the haunt wasn't potent enough to really ping both players out. But we'll hold that thought. We are still committing on the side of Team Solid to try to plant towards A.
Dude, just no displacement. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Whoa.
So this is what I'm talking about. The haunt that misses into trying to clear up on the top of the B long. Yes, it spotted the op or Rupkoide towards the long B, but it didn't actually ping the sky tucked in by the teleporter. So that was a free kill because you're just focusing so much on the noids, and for the second time, Havoc has Boombot stuck in his hands and trying to scale up on that site. When you could already do that with the snake bite to flush players back. And then you could guarantee the Prowler clearing up towards the left side and then start using util more. Because there's no point right now for them to try to hold on to their utility if they can't really cross the first line of scrimmage in the first place.
Yeah, this has been brutal. A 7-5 would be a miracle, I imagine, if you're feeling this from Team Solid. Rube is in trouble, but has the shorty, mercy me, and a headhunter, and help. I mean, PXS gonna get, yeah, whoa, let's say blindsided here, but it's okay. Finding something out of nothing. Snow will find one before, whoa. It's pumped up. 7-1, brother. What are we talking about? We're not shooting bodies. 7-1? Hello?
It's Valorant, bro. 7-1 is a regular scoreline. This is super normal.
Is it?
Atmosphere is in the chat. But that said, that said, they did exactly what we wanted to see here towards their rifle rounds, right? Avoid the extremities, try to take control towards the short and sand side because it was held fairly passively. But it was still a good read coming out here from the defensive side of Shinden to actually place the opper there. But the op shot missed. We didn't clear enough on the second wave to try to rescale up until this hero plays comes through. So they have to at least, like, the idea was there. They were still missing a bit until PXS was able to win the round for them. So you're right. I think based off that, or last round of them trying to scale up into hookah and what you're saying, that it's a little bit lackluster from the side of Solid. It definitely seems like the double op or just the chamber in itself is really putting a wrench in the wheels here for the attack side of Solid.
Yeah, this is a little bit of that sabotage. But full purchase and a lot of ultimates available for solid. And they've been holding on to some of these for a while. So you got to be thinking they're cooking something for this round. Snow's going to get a little greedy here. Oh, he may get punished. Solid surely has a protocol for this.
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa! That's not a good showstopper. And he avoids the paint shells. Fortunately, DG bails them out, so they get the kill they needed, but that was expensive. The Seeker's also holding off the play for a little while longer. So now the 5v4 resets with 45 in the clock.
There.
Thing is, a Seeker's in TP'd as well, so right now you know your weak side on B. If Rukoide, though, on this op could go huge, it would be great. Because you already forced out the TP as well. He can't place it anywhere, and he's pretty much in a one and done.
Yeah, and very safe. Dimensional drift will be used. And there's the op. Orbital strike, flash. Survived.
Space.
Yep.
There.
Some smokes do go down, though.
Spike
And
planted.
oof, all you've got is a guiding light, trying to work your way back into sight, and Vi is nowhere near. Yeah, outside of a couple of, I would say, desperate wallbang attempts. Not much of an opportunity here for the offense, or for the defense to work their way back into the site, so likely just a peel back. It'll be a couple extra weapons saved, especially the operator in hand. And it'll be 7-3 on the backside around 10.
And you just said that they've been holding on to these ults for a long time. Let's just use them all this round.
Use them all. Here's the kitchen sink. Enjoy.
But yeah, I mean, you're just trying to answer back on their forward play from short A, and I do respect it. I think, as we were just highlighting before, they didn't have good opportunities to really use these ults into the late rounds, into pulse plants, or even getting into sites. They've been losing a lot of these fights contested before they even get into the offensive zone, or defensive zone rather, here for the side of Solid. So I respect that you're using your showstopper Nightfall right away. Get information on what's going on here, have them react. And once you hear the TPs and you know that it's weak side on B, then you utilize the dimensional drift right after to get the information. So I think it's still very clean. It's very cautious.
Yeah.
But man, it was 7-1. You got it.
Correct. You can't take them with you, as they say. Tour de force out here, and that will work. Tries for a second, not going to happen. Snow holding the opposite side over through shower, not going to find contact as the nearest contested in Havoc has repositioned back over towards short. And yes, some noise still being made here over towards B, but every peek is going to be a dangerous one, knowing the chamber is right on top of you.
Wonder if that was an intentional smoke being thrown there by Maurice to leave that gap. And speaking of leaving gaps, that's David that just got picked off right out in the open. There you're going to go for the hero play, and it's being sniffed out here by Havoc. He's watching that flank.
Yeah, this is huge information because you look to the other side of the map, and Rube is in perfect position to use this tour. Prowler doesn't even get all the way there. So you walk up, you think it might be safe. Not so fast. And Rube is chilling because he's got support from Vi. Flash will re-clear the angle, and Rube's going to feel very comfortable here.
Except his CP's not in the best spot, so see if you actually take control of Hookah.
I mean, what? Okay.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it just felt like one of those moments, you know, when you're trying to jump and stick the landing, but you're still losing balance and your feet are trying to catch up. It felt exactly like that when Havoc was landing onto that site. And especially kind of what's happening for Solid on the attack side so far. They are just trying to figure out anything that could work out on their side, and yet still continue to stumble on how they're trying to scale up on that map. You're walking up into contact again. Oh, dude, this is not a good look.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Especially considering that at this point in the patch and in the meta, you should for sure know what a double operator setup is going to look like, especially when one of the ops is a tour de force. Like, you should know. Like, there's not really, like, I don't want to say like they're looking for excuses in that, but you can't just slightly, you know, tap peek when you've got two different types of sniper rifles on the field. Like, you just can't. Like, you have to commit to clearing an angle if you're going to run it like that. It just feels very, I don't know, very, very, very soft.
Yeah. And we're not playing on new patch, by the way, so you should have enough util to push these offers back.
Good point.
And now it's finally being used. At least you're clearing towards the corners of short. Right now, it's very difficult for them to move around the map that they want to, especially with Digizine pulling it off on the attack side. Because where your flash is now to commit for the explosion through the smokes. So you're going to have to start moving in together, but it might be another body peek at this point.
Exactly. Because at the other side of it, you have to commit to one of these two angles because the orbital strike was actually blindly used here. That separates the offense, but doesn't do really much of anything. And wow, the decoy works. Snow just kind of displaced and gets a little bit panicky. So first blood good for the offense, but a shotgun inside of smoke is enough to counter and keep us 4v4. And PXS may run into the trap of a lifetime, and sure does. David trying to find something through smoke, not gonna happen. Spike gets planted, 4v3, advantage to the defense though. Oh, sheesh. That's a chunk of damage. Teaches in low, still able to find one. Yeah, classic's not gonna work though. And that'll be enough for 9-3 half. Shinden has arrived.
It almost looked like for that last round too, when you have this op for Digizine a little bit too late as well, it almost feels like, okay, well, if we are going to try to go for this matchup head to head, op versus op, let me just pull up my own. But again, by putting that.
Mata levar, espera. Eu solto isso aqui. Matei. Fala pra mim. Olá.
E com o Xenon, ô Art, fala a verdade. Mó calor hoje, o cara veio com essa jaqueta só pra foi pro Champions.
Não. Ele falou pra mim que tava com frio, tava precisando de uma blusa. Falei, pô, usa teu jaquetão, pai. Tá aí, mano. Tem que usar, tá certo.
Tem que usar, você não tá calor, não?
Não tem nada, não escutei nada.
Eu falei que você veio com essa jaqueta só pra se aparecer.
Ué.
Ué, é verdade. E daí, né? E daí? É minha. E não pagou barato. E aí, tá se divertindo aí, amigo?
Tá da hora, mano. Torcendo aí pros moleques, mano. Os caras é tudo meu amigo, então vamos pra cima.
Tá certo. I was joking about he wearing this jacket. It's so hot today in São Paulo, but he said it's mine. I paid for it, and I asked him if he's having fun. He's having a lot of fun, cheering for his friends from Team Solid. E Artezinho, vocês vão junto pra algum lugar? Você tá sozinho? Como é que é aí?
Não, daqui eu vou pra casa.
Vai pra casa! É, se for onde eu tô pensando, é na rua de baixo de casa.
Não.
Não?
Não.
Faz o... Não?
Não.
Não, nada a ver.
Calma aí.
Nada a ver. Você vai com ele ou vai continuar no BR, amigo?
Fala nada.
Falar nada. Tá difícil. I was joking where he's going, if they're going together for another team. He said he's going home. I'm trying to get something leaked here, but it's not working. Placar final desse mapa, vai dar pra Solid?
Mano, na moral... Tá, quanto,
9-3.
9-3, né? Acho que dá Solid ainda, dá Solid.
Dá Solid, vai dar Solid?
Cara, espero que sim, mas acho que vai ser terceiro mapa, mano. Os caras tá com P2 do Elise, tomou 9-3, então acho que vai ter.
Complicado. Então é isso. Bora voltar pro jogo. Valeu demais, Indos. É nóis. Vamos ser vizinho, hein? Vamos ser vizinho.
Yeah, awesome to see.
Go ahead. I don't speak a lot of Portuguese, but that sounded like, hey, what's the score? Oh, it's 9-3. Oh, I got solid. That seems like the conversation which just happened.
Yeah, but still awesome to see Artezine and Shenum there here of MIBR. Tremendous run throughout champions, but again, just to continue to point where we were saying before, is just feels like we were missing a bit in terms of the pulling out the op for Digizine on the attack side, but then you had no flashes to work for those hits, and those smokes have always been playing against you. Hopefully they have a better look here on the defensive side, because now you're forcing players to move against you, and that's where it could be still difficult as a chamber to move in with your team to what they had in the past. So maybe that 9-5 was good for them for the defense to start at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other side of that is like the Yoru did nada in the first half of this. So chamber, you would assume a little bit more difficulty getting online on the offensive side, but Digizine did not find much with the double duelist setup. Paint shells in the corner. Digizine and Havoc trying to work together. Do stall out the hit through short, but Havoc does take a pretty considerable amount of damage on the way out. So if you want to call it an advantage, it's a small one for Shinden.
Yeah, you're already seeing though how much was used to try to stall them back. There's actually nothing left here for Solid, and regrouping as a team would be super important while Vi still has one more flash to work with. So you're probably seeing them trying to bait out a little bit of that space towards that B site, force that rotate, and group up for this flash on A. Especially now that you have the insert from Rube Koide on top of B.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Well, Rube may try to find something on transition here, but it's going to miss his window. Rafa for a good first blood. Doesn't get the second. Evenly exchanged to a 3v3. Oh, goodness. I was about to say, if Conan gets a read on this, that'd be insane.
10 seconds left.
But regardless, teleporter is hit, and we'll move forward with a 2v2 with the post plant on B.
Now they have info on both. Rube Koide peeking out. Low HP is Digizine though.
Remaining.
Yep.
Not that he needed it, but the headshot still builds the confidence.
Called a headhunter for a reason.
Correct. Yikes. Little high-low setup right in front of the front doors, and Shinden are riling up the crowd.
Very nice.
Argentinians coming up nice.
Especially when you're looking at the retake, you know that Rube Koide already peeked out. You know that the second one's planting, so you're trying to find that timing to try to fight back against the chamber, but both of them tucked up towards that wall, so you kind of just lined up each other. And then now you know where the last one's rotating from because of the peak from Rube Koide. So you play the high-low out in the open. You're guessing there's no more utility left here for the retake from PXS. And it becomes super nice. A nice, beautiful answer back here from Shinden so far from what we've seen on that first map. We might be able to trade each other's maps here and really see the that battle go down on Jet v Jet potentially on Ascent.
Well,
oh, dude.
Yep. And it's just like where the contact is happening. Like it just feels, I won't say like unstructured, but it feels a little too loose for what we've seen, especially comparatively to map 1 from Team Solid. Like we're just losing these fights before they really even start.
Smoke's down.
Agree. Right now, it's Rafa just trying to min-max orb at least. If he's able to pick up that orbit and die right after, that's an extra one. He's already halfway to his orbital strike, and they could maybe start something with that sooner than later by leveraging these ultimates in the later rounds. Now you're just rotating, gamble, stacking for a re-hit towards that B site. Beautiful read and calls once again by Motor East to allow now Shinden to get the free plant towards the A site. But I do agree with you, Shift. We haven't really gotten to a point right now where TSS is going to have full weapons yet to fight against Shinden and see how they're going to scale up, especially with the chamber this time around. But I don't know if they'll have a chance to really get that rolling.
I don't think so. Which weapon would you like, Rube? How about the weapon of illusion? Hey, look at me. Yes. David is able to come up from behind for free. Well, Vans, it's 11-3, and we've got a true bonus on the way.
And a very solid one, too. Outlaw is going to be ready for Rube Koide. You have the Guardian for David, 2 double Guardian 2. You're going to be in a comfortable spot to buy for the next 2 rounds as well. This is a very, very important gun round here for the side of the defense of Solid here on the Brazilian side. Right now, they have to win the round without dropping too many players, and you're seeing how expensive it was for them to buy these sheriffs on the previous round, though, because now 3 of them have no full shield. They're one tappable by Rube Koide, who's currently moving into showers where exactly Havoc's going to try to fight against them with the Guardian.
All right, well, let's just call a spade a spade. This is a must-win round here for Solid, and they have not shown us much on their map pick. Surprising to say the least. Yikes, dude. Yikes. Like, ooh. That one hurts the soul, and now the offense has a very early 5v4 and
Your gun's sticking out.
Oh, mercy. It goes from bad to worse that quickly.
At least the outlaw shot misses, so there's a little bit of a gap for DGZ to take.
Okay. But you gotta have more than that. A lot more than that. Rafa, a little slow to the trigger, takes some damage, but backs away. That will voluntarily give up the position to Halls. Small flash, but no commitment for the spike yet. Can you get this first cross? Smoke out. That will work. Good timing on that play. And actually, Murias will be revealed by this, but Rafa can't stay alive. So we go 3v2, and you have to convert this if you're solid. They find the first. Oh, the shots for Snow don't land. And now it's just down to David to play up by himself on B.
You still have a dog here on the pulse plant. So try to group up together, try to see if David's going to play towards backside. And you are.
Just the Guardian. Have to hit the head. Solid moving quickly together. Do they swing it? 1, 2, 3, go. Yep. Whoa!
Oh,
no way! I mean, it's as absolutely perfectly peaked as you could possibly imagine from a timing standpoint, but we got to hit our shots.
Oh, man, they even flicked him towards the ear too. That was a free kill for sure. I agree with you. Because the jump spot broke crosshair placement. It took him a couple of shots as well to win that second fight. So it definitely looks like a whole different Solid here from the first map. I don't necessarily think it's lack of preparation on the side of Solid, but maybe good preparation on the side of Shinden to really counter the way that their opponents play. That's a bonus converted map point for Shinden. You're forcing every single round here for Team Solid. We talked about the value and how important it was for them to convert that gun round that they had, especially with less casualties, because now you're going to continue to go for these broken buys where Outlaw is going to be very good here for the side of Shinden.
So Ascent, map 3. I mean, wow. This is just come out of nowhere if you're Shinden. 4v3 though here. Now, we've seen, and very recently, some dramatic comebacks in Valorant, just generally. This one, I won't say would take the cake, but it'd be close.
No
it
way.
would be very close.
Nothing beats the Fnatic 11-1 now.
Correct.
Unless we're thinking like Challengers 2 years ago, like a, what, 12-0 half, and it still went into OT? Wasn't it like a Luminosity game or something like that?
Yeah, something like that,
deep.
yeah.
We're digging deep.
A little bit. It's okay.
But I agree with you, especially at this level right now when you're facing the music in front of a crowd. It's definitely difficult to try to get these type of comebacks in. Thankfully, though, it is Team Solid. A roster of players that have played on the Americas stage, so they know what it's like to play into these highly intensive moments. But also, let's just call a spade for this one as well, Chip. It's rosters like Furia and MIBR that haven't had the best of successes outside of this current Champions run.
Bold. Orbital strike will force one through the teleporter. Rube hunting for heads, one might say. Not able to connect though, and we'll stay 5v5.
And they know right now for Shinden that Solid are just trying to go for swings, hero plays, and just maybe a little bit more flustered than usual. So we're just expecting these type of, somebody's going to try to find information right there. Rafa peeked out, but unfortunately Rukoida wasn't ready for that one too. To think this is also Shinden having a lower buy here in their bonus.
Okay. Tries to play the counter flash. Not going to happen. Molly to stall out the play as the Seekers were looking to at least find info on the defense here. And then that moment, Rafa will find a second. Knows the threat's right in front of him. And the smoke will delay the hit. Well, at least that's the intention. A little while longer. Doesn't fully work out. And that pop flash, I don't think it gets over the container. So David able to find at least one in response. Dimensional drift out. Vi able to get around the corner. That's an up and upgrade.
10 seconds left.
And now it's just down to where is the Yoru? And they've lost him. Sound Cue comes out though, and Vi 1v1.
Oh
no. Gosh. Almost with a hero play to really just confirm the map, but no, we go another.
When Digizine's low on HP as well, I saw the vision after getting that first pick, and Digizine's out of the TP, makes the other Q and is out in the open. You need to land the shot, and he does against a healthy Vi. It was so close. We stay alive, but again, Shift, I keep telling you, these are these type of rounds here that Solid needs to continue to win, but not losing too many casualties. Too many players in the process, rather, because if not, the buys aren't always going to be the best.
Well, Shinden showing some respect here. Well, that'll be enough to pull back the gate crash. A little follow-up, and ooh, PXS able to at least catch out one. Snow looking to clear halls with Showstopper, and may get an opportunity. Well, but that's a decoy. So you delete that, but nothing else. And yeah, the defense is in a great position to just overwhelm this post plant.
Complacent, double flank. We're not flipping the map here on the attack side. So that allows your TSS to really try to complete the round.
You don't have to force this if you're Conan, because PXS is on the corner. So yep, you set up the crossfire, and yeah, it will work. We do not need to hit Nightfall here. Okay. I was gonna say, please, I understand. You got 3 in the round. I earned it. No. Let's hold that. Let's hold that.
I need to win the round. We need to stay in this game.
I need 4. Give me 4.
And it's finally starting to get loud here in the CBLOL arena. And it's what potentially is needed here for this side of Team Solid playing on home turf. They need the crowd behind them, and it's been quite silent. We know what it's like, at least from Brazilian teams with Brazilian fans. When they pop off, so does the arena. But when they aren't, it does get pretty quiet in there as well. But that is a sign of life. Look how aggressive we're currently playing in this moment on these flanks. When you're disrespecting the walk through the smoke for Mukoide. And I think that is a perfect time to call the timeout too.
Yeah, agreed.
Because you don't want your team to be complacent right now from the call of Godspeed.
Could not agree more with you, my friend. So we'll intently start to talk about it and see how things follow up from here. Really solid showing from Shinden, but that fight that we would have expected to see coming out of Solid is finally starting to show up a touch. Still a long way to go. Let's not, get too crossed up on it, but at least you're starting to see, signs of life in terms of kind of what we would have expected on their map pick reminder. That's the big part about this.
Right now, at least the good thing about Shinden coming out with this chamber is you could do similar things of what they had with Device to set up something to watch the flank to get the audio cues. But if you lose Rukoide early in the round, you're already seeing how quickly Team Solid are moving for these flank scenarios. And look how aggressive they are at the beginning of this round. Oh, well.
Well, you want to continue with that?
No, let's talk about Ascent. No, I wanted to see how good they were proactively with the smoke moving down. They prowler towards that short side. They know the hit's coming towards A.
Yikes,
but
dude.
They're just getting popped by Snow with the Guardian.
Nightfall's going to hit everything, though. Can you follow up on this? That's the only issue. You're down numbers, and the smoke is in the way, kind of creating a line of scrimmage in front of this spike site. Your real only insertion here is Conan, and he's going to watch essentially 2 things at once. No utility for PXS. Just got to hit your shots right now, and that's a clean one for Conan. The spike's not planted yet. Oh, that's trouble. Yeah, trying to predict where the next challenge is going to be, not the case. Rafa trying to get back into sight, as Vise will get the plant, no problem. And that'll do it. 13-6. What a response for Shinden, man. I mean, I'm still sitting here like a little mind blown, because first half, Team Solid looked that they barely even loaded into the map, which is their pick. Like, they just looked a little lost. Not able to get anything going on the executes.